Good evening, Comic Book Nation. I am your host, Chris Killian, and welcome to Good Night Gotham. Thanks to everybody who just watched tonight's episode of Gotham with us live. So much cool stuff happened tonight. Spoiler alert, is Nathaniel Barnes going to transform into a monster? Fantastic cliffhanger to end the show on. And as much as I would love to talk to you all about that, we're going to stray a little bit tonight, and I think you'll be happy we did, because we're all Batman fans here. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here. To go along with our love of all things Batman, we are hyping the digital release tomorrow of Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders, which, if you don't know, is an all-new animated Batman film based on the 1960s television show. And holy special guest, Batman, tonight, to celebrate the release, I have an iconic guest for you guys. I couldn't be more excited to have this man on the show. I'm nervous. I am talking to the OG sidekick himself. That's right, Robin in the flesh, Mr. Burt Ward. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight, sir.
Hello, citizen.
Hello. Man, if I wasn't talking to you right now, I would actually be at the theater watching Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders tonight. I can't wait to see it.
World premiere tonight. I'll tell you, they did sneak preview it last week at the New York Comic Con, and the reviews have been so fantastic, you wouldn't believe it. It says it has beaten every other Batman film in terms of audience reaction.
Has it really?
Yes, including the big ones that are in the theaters.
Oh, I can't wait, because it looks to me like it captures the essence of the original show very well. How cool was it?
What it does, I'll tell you, Chris, what it does, it takes everything that you loved about the original Batman, you combine it with some of the stuff you've seen in the movies, and you take the two, and the sum of the parts is greater than the individual parts.
That is awesome. Well, how cool was it for you to return to that character almost 50 years later?
Well, you know, it never really leaves you. You know, I sometimes wear my costume when I have crime-fighting events, trick-or-treating, and private moments with my wife.
That's amazing. You're my favorite person alive. We are now celebrating the 50-year anniversary since Batman first aired in 1966. Since then, your versions of the character have appeared in toys, comic books, Legos, now animation. No offense to him, but it's not like anyone is making comics or cartoons based on Chris O'Donnell's version of Robin. What do you think it was about your show that makes it so iconic that people still want to see it continue after all of these years?
Well, it's a combination of things. First of all, we appealed to a very broad audience. It wasn't just a theater audience. It was an audience of children for the hero worship of the crime fighting and fighting villains and climbing walls and riding in the Batmobile. For the adults, it was the nostalgia of the comic book. And for the college kids and the teenagers, at that time, an almost impossible audience to capture was the double meanings, the entendres, the suggestive situations, all of which caused Adam and I to be called in on the carpet by the censors nearly every week.
Yeah, I grew up on your version of Batman, and when I was little, I didn't catch it until I was way older watching it back. So, but like I said, I can't wait to see the film that just came out tonight. It's going to be out tomorrow, available for download. It looks amazing, and Warner Brothers Animation has already announced a sequel before it's even been released. And they announced William Shatner as Two-Face. When do you guys begin recording for the sequel, or have you already?
I have already. And let me just tell you something. You know, no matter what I tell you, you're not going to believe this movie when you see it. Everything that you thought about the 1960s is going to be upside down on its head. This is so many people that have already been writing to me today where they saw it back east in theaters, which is 3 hours ahead of me, have said they can't believe it. They loved it so much. And some people have said that they just want to sit and watch the opening titles over and over. This is a huge, huge hit. And you guys are going to be the first ones to be able to really promote it in a big way.
Yeah, I'm happy to be able to help you with that. I'm going to watch it tomorrow, first thing. Since we talked about William Shatner being cast as Two-Face, now he's one of the few popular villains who never appeared on the original show. And what a missed opportunity that seems like now. Are you excited that you guys get to rectify that by including Two-Face in your universe with this sequel?
Well, of course. First of all, I know Bill Shatner. I see him out on the road when we go to these huge events, these Comic Cons. 2 weeks ago, I was in Toronto, 160,000 paid attendance to see Adam and I and Bill Shatner. And let me tell you something. When you think about it for a minute, what are the two greatest iconic shows in television history? I mean, like Batman and Star Trek. You combine them together. Wowie zowie.
Wowie zowie. Bam. Uh, One thing that animation has to make easier is you don't have to slide down that damn bat pole. I've slid down poles on playgrounds with like jeans on and I still skin myself. I can't imagine how much it could hurt when you're wearing the Boy Wonder tights. Did you ever hurt yourself going down the pole?
Let me just tell you something. Even getting to the top of the pole is scary. At 65 feet tall, at the very top inside a soundstage with these old creaky wooden steps, you know, the kind that you can see through and you can see below. And oh my gosh, I'm telling you, it was like frightening going up. The only thing worse than that was when they hung me over the top of a soundstage where I'm being choked by a villain. This is real. I was so distrusting that some of those crew were going to just let me go that I made them tie a rope around my leg and tie it around a pole. I did not want to fall 65 feet and land on my head.
Yeah, I read that most of the time that you actually did your own stunts. Like, is that true?
Well, yes, but there's a reason for that. Not every time. There were some times I had my stuntman, but the problem was he didn't look like me. So they could never use him on anything that was up close. And, of course, the policy on Batman was, if there's anything really dangerous, always use Burt.
What are you talking about? With that mask, they could tell who you were? That's crazy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, well, he had a kind of a Cyrano de Bergerac nose. So, you know, believe it or not, it does stand out. And, you know, when I watch the reruns, both on my beautiful DVD, Blu-ray selection, you can tell the difference if you watch closely.
Right. Well, something I want to talk about real quick. A lot of fans don't know what you've been up to lately, and that's the fact that for the last 22 years, you and your wife, Tracy, have saved more than 14,000 dogs with your nonprofit charity, Gentle Giants Rescue, and nonprofit Gentle Giants Dog Food. That's amazing. Yeah. What is it about this cause specifically that's so special to you?
Well, let me tell you something. And Warner Brothers loves what I'm about to tell you. This is the phrase I use. I was the Caped Crusader, and now I am the Canine Crusader.
Nice.
And of course, now with this movie, I am now back as the Caped Crusader and the Canine Crusader. But here's what's so very important. It's now 15,500 dogs, 22 years. But the most greatest thing for me, and I take nothing from it, this is pure charity. My wife and I, we have our rescue. We have our Gentle Giants dog food. We take not a dollar from it. But let me tell you what's so great. We have found a way to double and in some cases triple the lifespan of dogs. Our dogs are living up to 27 years, still running around like puppies, jumping in the air. And when you consider that we have the giants, like the Great Danes and the St. Bernards that only live 6 to 8 years, and you have them up to 27 years, I think that is really fantastic.
That is so fantastic. That's incredible that you've been able to do that.
And how it's with our Gentle Giants dog food, which you can get on Walmart.com or Walmart, anywhere across the country. And secondly, is the way we care and feed for our dogs, which they can read about on our website at GentleGiantsRescue.com. Because remember, we're a charity, we're rescue, we're not profit-oriented.
Right. Well, you guys heard it. It's at Walmart. Check it out. Since you're such a dog lover, do you remember Ace the Bat Hound? Do you remember him?
Of course. In fact, I got to share something with you.
Okay.
In Toronto, this is just a little bit of trivia, but your viewers and listeners will like this. I was just up in Toronto. Up there was a wonderful man. Okay, all right. His name is Bill Farmer. Do you know who Bill Farmer is?
I don't.
He does the voice of Goofy for the last 30 years. Oh. Okay, Walt Disney's Goofy. And he was so nice, he recorded a voicemail message for me. So when now anybody calls me and I don't answer the phone, Goofy answers the phone. He explains he's having a plate of our Gentle Giants dog food and would they like to leave a message. That is one piece of trivia I guarantee nobody knows. And one more piece, since you have a lot of viewers and listeners who love Bruce Lee, did you know that Bruce Lee's first filmed fight scene of his career was fighting me on Batman?
No,
the very first one.
I didn't know that at all.
That Bruce Lee and I lived in the same condominium complex. I was a black belt in karate, and he and I used to spar really hard, much more than you saw on television. And we used to go down at the time. his wife Linda, they had their baby Brandon, who was only 6 months of age, and we would go down into Chinatown in Los Angeles, and because Bruce was from Hong Kong, he would order all the most authentic stuff. But he was a really nice man, and just a piece of trivia that I guarantee you that probably none of your viewers or listeners knew about.
No, I didn't know about it at all. That's exciting to me. I had no idea. So I got to get back on track. You're so awesome to talk to. There are rumors that Robin might make an appearance in the next solo Bat film with Ben Affleck. Are there any young actors today who you think would be great for Robin?
Absolutely.
Who's your pick? Who's your top pick?
Me.
Ha!
Let me tell you something.
I'm all about it.
Let me just throw something at you, okay? Do you remember when the Star Trek ended and Leonard Nimoy, okay, and William Shatner did all those Star Trek movies? Remember that?
Yep.
They were very successful. And those guys were a lot older, right? I mean, you didn't care that they were older. You loved them because they were with you in your childhood. Can you imagine Adam and I now, yes, older, 50 years later, going to put on our tights where maybe Batman is dusting off the tights in his closet and I'm trying to pull up the tights? This could be so hilarious. We're trying to talk the studio into doing that. It would be the antithesis of all the stuff that you see, but I guarantee you the turnout, they'd be tearing the seats out of the theaters.
I would love to see that personally. I'm totally on board with you. I think we should start a petition on Twitter to start that movie. I want to see you guys play Batman and Robin in live action again. Or we can even do some kind of time travel thing.
After just one day, now it's not even a full day, the reaction because of this new animation, not only do they want a second one, there is a whole write-in campaign to make this a television series, this movie, that turn it into number 1 and 2 and then spin it off into a TV series. So who knows what the future will bring. But I tell you, I'm ready to climb the walls. I've been climbing them every day for 50 years for different reasons.
Well, the more of you and Adam West we can get, I think the better. Well, speaking of Robin, we haven't seen him a lot lately. Why do you think we haven't seen Robin in a film in nearly 20 years?
Well, believe me, the people at Warner Brothers are really pros. They know exactly what they're doing. I am sure something's coming in the future. But, you know, when you have it working so well as it is, you kind of just bring it out slowly. You don't jump and eat the dessert before you have your main entree.
Well, generally, and thank you again for being here. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Only a couple more questions. We use this show to discuss the TV show Gotham. Would you ever be interested in having a cameo on that show? Maybe as like Dick Grayson's parents. He's like a baby in that universe right now. But would you be interested in a cameo on the show?
Of course, I'm an actor, and I love doing everything to do with Batman. I love doing other projects as well. I've done 40 movies for television. You know, it's a wonderful thing. Gotham's a great show, and, you know, all I can tell you is that I would be happy to do it. I'd be happy to do any kind of project. I like to work.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you. One last question. I've been asking all my guests this. What do you think, right now in the show Gotham, Gordon does not have a mustache. How important do you think it is that Jim Gordon grows out that sweet mustache?
Well, you know, that's up to him. Far be it for me to ever tell somebody they should or should not have a mustache. All I can tell you is I worked with Cesar Romero, and it was pretty funny to see that white pasty makeup over that mustache.
That's classic. Oh, that is awesome. That's all for us tonight, guys. Thank you again, sir, for taking the time to talk to me tonight. I cannot tell you how much fun I had talking to you.
Well, I am honored too, and I just in memory of all the great stuff, I'm going to say, to the Batmobile!
Yes! Awesome, thank you. You guys make sure you download Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders tomorrow via digital download or pick it up on Blu-ray and DVD on November 1st. I'm not joking. Go out there, buy this movie. It's going to be amazing, and I want them to make a whole lot more of them. Also, visit GentleGiantsRescue.com and check out Burt's nonprofit charity and make a donation if you can. As always, make sure you hit us up on all of our social media platforms. Follow us at Comic Book on Twitter, search Comicbook.com on Facebook, and you can follow us on our Instagram at Comic Book Now. A very, very special thank you again to Mr. Burt Ward for being my special guest tonight here for Comicbook.com. I'm Chris Killian, and good night, Gotham.